Okay. Welcome to DLA Reversul Uf Fortunes, part 6 out of 12.
Halfway through.
We're halfway through, almost, and I thought it would be a good time to look into the actual phrase reversal of fortunes. What does it mean?
That's a good idea.
What does it mean when you do a quick search engine search of it? And what does it really mean to us, and what do we think why did we get, because we got assigned this phrase this prompt, and there were no things like you have to do this or say this or whatever, but it was just a 12-part series on the DLA Reversul Uf Fortunes. So really we could go all over the place with that. Even though I don't think we could do 12, we could probably do 200, you know? If I was being honest with myself and with you right now.
Just write a book on it called Reversal of Fortunes by ATM.
But
we should start
quite literally, if you just want to get into the definition, reversal of fortune is a change in state from being favored by fate to being conspired against by fate. And conspired against is a term that we like to use here in this army because both of us, though I would say you're more of the heavy-handed user of that phrase in your mind.
I'm a conspiracy theorist, but only within my personal relationships.
Yes,
otherwise,
all the people that care about you are secretly conspiring against you to make your life worse. But
the moon landing was totally real, and all of that is all good.
Personal conspiracies. But it can also be like an event that results in loss or impeding progress. Like a tragedy is a change of fortune, but it's not really like I guess it's a reversal for the person. But when I was looking at this phrase, I was thinking of it as a reversal, like reversing between us. And then I got to thinking, before I get into what I was thinking, let's hear from you. What do you think it means?
I think there's multiple interpretations, and now that I've actually read that again, there's two ways to think about it. There is the ATM reversal of fortunes, like our fortunes reverse, which I have some feelings or thoughts and feelings on. I mean, obviously that speaks to kind of like my paranoia that, maybe because I view myself as a victim and this organization and a victim of this organization. Oftentimes I like to feel like, oh my God, I'm in a cult and I'm a victim. And then view anything that, anyone who inflicts any change upon my life. That's how I view change.
A victim of what also? Because I'm a victim of what specifics?
I don't know, just, being in a cult and,
having to hear things that are orders.
Being ordered, having your entire thing be based on orders. My entire, my life is pretty structured around orders. So that's, this wasn't my thing talking about being victim. I'm just saying I view myself often as a victim of this organization.
Yeah.
Whether that's correct or not, I don't think it is correct, but that's just, if you've watched the videos, I don't know, maybe this is a first-time viewer, you can go back. I just tend to feel sorry for myself about stuff. Or just feel lesser than, or like only a stupid loser would join a cult, which, I still have my problems with getting over that one. And, there's everyone else is trying to destroy me and make my life worse. And that, this definition is, whatever, the definition you put at the heading of this video is kind of like the fear to see part of the whole thing of like, oh my God, do everything against my will and blah, blah, blah. When, nothing's against our will. We came and joined an army and we can leave whenever we want. But
we joined a thing called an army too.
What?
And then we're salty about orders.
You're telling me what to do?
I actually have to take orders in this army. I thought that was a cute term, like a hipster kind of like
an art project.
Yeah.
So it didn't really, it's not actually like that, but also, I do think that there was a change in favor on the, who is the more who is the more important person within the organization. As Runk changed, I went from having a more crucial Runk, like a more valuable Runk to the organization, which is an officer. An officer is more valuable than a soldier. I mean, than an enlisted or an NCO. You know, on paper. And then so my fate was that it was reversed, and I got a worse rank, and I got less, stature within this organization, and she was made a duchess and like made my boss and like became Wika's favorite. So, it was definitely a reversal of favor by the powers that be within this organization. And then I thought about this again.
Even the way you say things, like it's like a glimpse into a crazy mind that's like making so many assumptions and fantasies. Like, she's their favorite now, and like they have favorites, and like
I think they play favorites.
One of them's like more important now, and I'm less important.
I think it's true. Anyway, that's just what are you gonna join a cult and not have your own theories about like shit that you're not allowed to know about? I mean, come on, guys. What's the fun in that? It'd probably be fun to not have
it's so
this
personal
cancer brain that I have, this poisonous mind that keeps me small. That said, the other thing that I was thinking was that, maybe it's a reversal of fortune just for ATM in general. Maybe ATM was going on the state. We were moving towards being... We were
flying high.
We were flying high. We were given this opportunity to be with the generals and like go and do their path, the path of their new projects, their new brands, new good stuff, be on the way to, the promised land, the fucking, what are the Isles? What are those good? The Forgotten Isles?
Blessed Isles?
The Blessed Isles. And then we chose to just be losers and be like, okay, we're just going to do the hard work version of this, which was given us as an option. You can either do the hard work version, or you can like spiritually glow up and do this version.
Catch up to what we're doing.
Catch up. And we chose not to do that, so that reversal of fortune, if we're not taking so much of a personal you against me, which we always love to do, because we're fighters. We like to fight. But, so maybe it's our entire ATM reversal of fortune.
And it's called DLA Reversal of Fortunes. And since we are DLA for all intents and purposes right now...
Maybe the fortune of DLA is that we fucked it up.
Who knows? I don't think that we have the results in on that quite yet. There's some time it is to be seen, TBD, TBA.
To be disclosed.
But I think that I'll minus all the kind of like paranoid, delusional, or illusional thoughts that you have in that. But I say some of those things I think are similar to my ideas about the reversal. I'm not the kind of paranoid.
What kind of paranoid are you?
I'm more paranoid. If I had a place for my paranoia, it would be very future-based about like what's going to happen to me. And it's never like what someone else is gonna do to me. It's like what I'm gonna fuck up,
right,
or what's never gonna work out for me. It's not like some other people that are like the bad actors, like coming to kill me or like to come make me bad, like do bad things, or like. And yours seems very much about the past and the present a little bit, and very much like about. It's like I'm not saying I don't have my own victim complexes. I totally do, but they're just very different than yours, and I don't think they have quite as much like total fantasy and like inner like storylines as yours. Maybe they do, and I'm just not thinking about them. Anyways, I don't really think that we had a reversal of fortunes personally between each other. I think that it's a little bit of like, maybe this is me reading into it too much, but I think the title is a bit of a joke almost about how we thought of that as the thing, because we're a little dramatic and because we are a little bit victimizing of ourselves, and perhaps don't really see the treasures to be found in every situation.
Well,
and
are you saying we didn't have a between us?
I'm not finished my thought.
You didn't rise and I didn't fall?
I'm not finishing my... You're not letting me finish my
It's
thought.
interesting what you're saying.
You're literally interrupting my train of thought, and now I don't remember what I was saying.
Fuck, but isn't it scripted? What? We have notes, guys. We're not just coming into these off the
I know,
chain.
but you just saying that, it was like a little bit of like, I didn't do anything, you have notes. It's like a little bit like not taking the responsibility of just like butting into literally the part of our script where it's like
I was
my
interested.
thoughts.
I haven't read all your
mean,
parts.
it's not that you were interested. You were like angry at the part of me thinking it wasn't.
No, I wasn't angry.
Okay.
I want to know for sure. Just sometimes it's helpful to get clarification. Are you saying that the reversal of fortunes, meaning that our fortunes didn't reverse, like because weren't we kind of viewing this in the beginning as your fortune increased and my fortune fell?
Yeah. And
that's not true.
And I think that's not true.
Okay.
I think that even the term reversal of fortunes, like I was thinking of it as like a transitive property between us, but it just means like the fate switches, the thing changes, the trajectory, the path. If that makes sense. And more
like ATM's path.
Yeah.
Together.
And so I don't think it was bad to go into the things we did or to think of it as us like against each other or like the differences between each other. It's very telling actually, and I think we got to stuff about it. But I think that I just had a bit of a moment here halfway through where I was like, wait, I don't even think I'm thinking of this term in the way that this term means what it means.
Yeah, I mean, it might not even be about us at all, and we've just made it about our relationship with each other. What if it's about DLA getting canceled and like whatever we thought this cult was like? It was just, a lot's changed.
We take things very personally.
I mean, we could go back 6 years. I could go back to the reversal of fortunes when I signed up versus where I am now. Two very, very different realities, and there's lots of fortunes to be reversed within there as well.
And I think
now I'm thinking fractal. You really blew this open. Now we could probably do 200 episodes. Should we tag on an extra 6 episodes? Just,
Yeah, you can write them.
I'm going to script another 6 on my spare time.
Season 2. I guess the only thing that, the only other thing I would say about the term and what I think it means when you hear it versus, what I think it actually represents is I think that it was not our fortune getting worse or our trajectory getting, cursed or bad. I think that we just, when we go through growth or we get opportunities that are difficult, it's when we think, oh, our fortunes are so bad. When, those are exactly the times that opportunities arise from those, misfortunes, things we think of as misfortunes. So I think that this reversal, getting it out of the personalized, you go down, me go up, I go up, you go down thing, we thought things were getting worse around the time that the reversal of fortunes trajectory kind of began, when in actuality, with perspective and time passing and looking back, things were all and have been all getting better over that time at everything that felt crazy. Think back to when we came where we are in this current location. You couldn't walk. I was breaking down in crazy rage every day because I had never spent every day in one room with you.
Who are you saying that's not fantastic?
It's not fantastic for me, and that's on me. That's on me. So and that's just one example of the locus points of things that seemed like reversals of fortunes.
Point? A focus point?
I don't know what that really means.
You said locus?
Locus, point? I think means the center.
You mean a focus point? A locus?
Focal point is a word, but locus also means the center of something.
Interesting.
But so this is every time we glow up or grow or have a thing that's an opportunity, it looks like to us, because we're, pain matrix programming makes you kind of want to shy away and run away from all the things that are opportunities. For most, those are the hard things. Those are the things that seem at to us from our kind of warped perspective seem like the fortune's getting worse, or that we want to avoid or shy away from.
We really wanted to glow up, but really what we needed was to grow up.
Thank you.
Right?
Yeah, that was really good. So, I can swear because I think it's not as much of a thing for me.
Let's get meta about how much of a thing it is for either of us.
We are fucking retarded. That's basically what I wanted to say. We are fucking retarded, and we've left the realm of being fucking retarded barely, and we're kind of retarded now. We're just
we're not fucking retarded. We're just retarded.
And
got it.
That's not to get down on myself or us or anything like that. It's just to be a little bluntly honest about
what's the scale? Where do you get after? Let's start. What's the future look like? What comes at? So you go fucking retarded, then you go to retarded, and then mildly retarded, and then what's after mildly retarded? What's the positive version? What's the nominal, and then after nominal, what's good?
Basic.
Oh, and then you just go into the basic econ, levels?
I don't think I was going into that.
But we're below all of that. We're at the retarded level, which doesn't
I don't know what all these levels mean, and I don't know this whole...
You're the one who's saying we're moving from fucking retarded to retarded. I want to know I'm a future-oriented person.
Well, I haven't thought about these other levels, I guess.
That's a little bit... I don't know. Anyway.
I'm not really a future gal.
I know.
I'm not trying to think about...
But you do know that we are retarded in relation to being fucking retarded.
Yeah. And I think that, over the last...
YouTube's totally going to demonetize our videos.
Year.
We make all our money through these.
Yeah, didn't you know? This is where the big bucks just fucking...
YouTube just... so much money off each video, but now once we
do we make money? What do you see? We have a money addict here who has a way of pretending that words don't matter and
it was a joke about the video making money.
I know,
because we don't make any money. There's no money. But
we don't make money.
It would be
here.
if I don't know if there'd ever be a fucking reality where YouTube was monetized for us and they were sending their money. I mean, maybe. Such frustration.
But I think that part of the changes things that we view as misfortunate or that are our lives are oh, this is gonna be worse or hard, it leads to a thing that we get that unlocks something that makes our life better in each time that happens. And yes, we get less retarded, but I guess this is the time that I wanted to say what the difference between a mistake and a violation is. Because as I look back to the times that we've been retarded, it's a lot of the times a same mistake is made over and over again. And at that point, is it really a mistake anymore?
Huh?
Were you listening to anything
I think it's a violation at some point if you just are making the same mistake over and over and not learning and not changing.
Yeah.
That's what I've been told.
Yeah, in fact, I think this army has given us a breakdown of the difference between the two terms. Or I just remember one of my generals asking me what the difference between those two terms meant at the time, and I said something crazy like, a mistake is something that you didn't mean to do. Which is a funny definition and very much I think what a white woman would say, because you can violate and fuck up and do something bad without meaning to do it, and it doesn't mean that it's not a violation. You can also, you can make a mistake on purpose. But the thing that, the hope is that we make the things that are mistakes that become violations because we do them so much. The hope is,
stop and correct, sir.
Stop and doing them so much, I'm losing the plot a little bit here.
Let's get back on the plot.
So, the thing that we thought of as a reversal of our fortunes, I would go so far as to say, though I don't think it would be called fortune, I think it would be called training in an army and making mistakes and violations till they become conscious and we can course correct and like reprogram a lot of the things that are making us redo and remake those violations over and over again. It's just like behavioralism. What are some of those things in each of us that we have gotten to the point of like it's no longer this unconscious violation that keeps happening all the time without realizing what it is or what motivates it, or like, and this goes into becoming like retarded instead of fucking retarded. Like, what if we become less retarded about kind of knowing and training to get over, and perhaps even some of them having gotten over. So for me, mostly it's in the context of things that made me a witch, programs from witchery that like I inherited from a long generational program of witchery that I have like, I would say those things, they are like an intense control addiction, like a control addiction. An intense addiction to like using food for control or for a replacement for love, or as an excitement that's like masking other deeper, truer, more human like desires, and like cursing people consciously and unconsciously, like, and realizing and figuring out and exploring what that means, and how I do that with like my actions, or like just following orders in a crazy way.
Yeah, sometimes I'll wake up with a toothache and I'll look over at her and she's speaking Latin under her breath.
Yeah, it's not like that.
What's going on in my mouth?
When I say like cursing and being a witch, it's like very much things that are like, they're just so hidden. They're like a hidden part of the Pain Matrix cult, which is part of being a witch. It's hiding your tactics and hiding your actions, and or being so hidden for so long that you're just like me, like just poor little me, just like inheriting the programs and not even knowing you're a witch at the point where I was fucking retarded when I first came here, and not knowing you're cursing people. But I cannot say that anymore. It has become a conscious awareness that, I have committed to the path of de-witching myself, and so therefore like I can't feign ignorance, and I've delved into the underbelly of what all this shit is, and I would not have gotten there without this quote-unquote reversal of fortunes and these things that seemed bad, or like I didn't want to face them, or difficulties that I could have attributed to like some kind of like witchy getting a bad fortune upon my door. It's very mathematical. It's not like this crazy magic spell.
Yes, ma'am. Agreed.
What about
arrogance? Kicking in the teeth?
I think that control thing is what leads to kicking people into the teeth. Or being, I don't know if control leads to arrogance. I think that's a different one. But I like shut down deliveries or turn people away, or like kind of do antisocial things, because relationships are a thing that, and other people are a thing that like no one can control. So it just flares up my control issues, and it's easier to shut down the interaction or send the person away, even unconsciously. I'm not saying that I'm like telling people to go away with my mouth, like saying go away, like I'm not ever, actually. It's just in behavior and the vibe and the spirit of things, and how the cards fall based on those things, what I put out, and all of the things we talk about in this army. Not all of the things. A lot of the things are like, they're very unconscious. They're in the world of like signs and symbols and like emotions impacting reality. They're not so easy to see for the naked, untrained eye. What about you? What's up with you?
Well, some of the things that I've been unconscious of in the past is, ways that I've been messy with, approaching people in like a charitable way and lying basically.
Wait, approaching people in a charitable way.
Approaching people in the receptive, charitable way. Asking for charity for myself. Lying, big thing for me. Being a dog with a bone in general, like dog, like being so obsessed with one result or one thing, or thinking that one thing's gonna save me. This time last year I was like chasing some like oil field deals and like nursing homes, like all of these big deals. I was like, if I could just get this deal done, if I could just move these 300 barrels of crude oil, then my life would be set. I would have mailbox money. I just all the money would be coming in. My wash orders would be taken care of. Just refusal to actually do the thing, and just like, I will be saved by a business transaction.
And meanwhile, you can continue. Sorry.
Meanwhile what?
See, in this moment, I interrupted you, and you could go with the flow more. What does that say?
I could go with the flow more? Like I could...
Yeah.
I was fine with you interrupting me? Yeah, I am okay with you interrupting me. But now you're not saying... Now I'm messed up by the fact that you didn't say anything.
The thing that, meanwhile, you were like trying to get saved by barrels of oil being moved across countries and big deals, percentages coming in. I, in the day-to-day, was thinking that if I went out and snuck a chocolate croissant secret treat, I could go get through one more day without generating my own joy.
That's why none of my deals came through. Mm-hmm. You were eating chocolate croissants, and that, now I know who to blame besides myself. All this time I thought I was the one who, was messing up. Just kidding. Never thought that.
I was thinking of it as like each of us was having our own thing that we were using to avoid
escapism
and
perhaps.
Escape our path that was difficult. Put it like that. Anyways, that's all I wanted to say.
Now I offload my escapism into literature, and I keep my life pretty. No, I'm just kidding. I'm trying to escape all the time. The doors are locked. Just kidding. Okay. So what are the ways? Every single, I've run into the bottom here with what could be tolerated and. Oh yeah, I mean, just the ways that my addictions have shifted out of the physical, but like being really strange. I mean, I still have some physical things, like that I'm working on, but not substance abuse, not substance
like picking
based.
Your nails.
Sure, and then how it's moved into like intellectual, emotional, and spiritual, and money, and like all of these other places that haven't been resolved or worked out. In the first year that I was here, I was just like not obeying any standards, doing all sorts of crazy stuff in terms of like things that were clearly against the rules, like remaining sober, being in my integrity when it came to relationships with people and stuff, just basically being all over the map. So I've managed to reel in a lot of that stuff. I've had my demon was sent away. I don't know where he is right now, Ralphie, off somewhere. So demon free, at least I think. And, like lying, money addiction, Oh, the big one right now is my ODD, which I don't know if that's even like a term that we really use, because it's not like a disordered thing about authority. I have real problems with the way that I have control issues is like other people being in control or of like anything externally to me, anyone who's an authority figure. It's getting harder and harder to be able to deal with that, which is funny because I've been here for like 6 years. I'm like getting to a point where it's actually becoming more difficult instead of less difficult. Though, if I look back a few months ago, maybe it was worse in some ways. Maybe it just feels worse now. I don't know.
There's like a lot to kind of get into with that, because I feel like, first of all, I am ODD as well to my, like, the generals manage me and I manage him, and he's so ODD, I'll just use that term.
I'm overtly ODD.
And it's very overt that I must be doing that in my relationship with them to be having it reflect back at me from him, because I am. But with them, it's nowhere near as overt, and therefore the like price to me may be a little different about like dealing with it, because you're not having someone shout in your face and like literally be like, fuck you for telling me what to do. But
you think that's worse.
I do.
In your New England, like, you know.
But I think that like it's all it is different. It's like my ODD is that I'll get an order from the generals and I'll like totally flip one of the most important tiny parts of how to do it so that it like blows up in my face and it has bad consequences or like bad results, but it's because I did it wrong. But then I can like blame them for doing the order because I'm like, see, the order didn't work, but it's like because I fucked it up, even if it was unconsciously to sabotage it, and like even if they didn't find out till later.
We should reverse. I should just like say okay to everything you do,
and then just like do something crazy secretly.
And you should just yell and say, "I'm not gonna take this from you anymore, General."
Wow, that could be exciting.
Let's not have that be a plan for the future.
So that's. Oh, but I think I was gonna say also for both of us, like you're saying, like has it gotten worse or is it just feeling worse? And the thing that makes me think of is like we are really like tightening up all these areas we have to kind of avoid things in our life or escape things in our life. And I think that like taking away those areas of escape, it's like we're trying to like go down this path that improves our lives, but we have all these like bad habits that are really addictive that we like fall into, but we're like trying to make all these boundaries and walls so the bad habit can't be accessed. And I think we are doing that slowly, but like then it makes the thing that's difficult that we're trying to escape feel worse because there's like we don't go and escape from it. So I at least have to tell myself that, because I don't want it to be like that. It's just I don't think it's just that we're getting worse or that things aren't like improving, because I think they are. It's just it can be really annoying. It can be an annoying process.
Straight up. Are we almost done?
We're almost done. The only thing that I think like I don't know. The like thing I was gonna just end on is saying that like this process of having a better life, like being more human, simplified, having more access to our soul, being more human, having more access to that which makes us human, that which made us, a connection to that which made us.
Is human even a word that we use anymore?
You've kept saying that, and I don't really know, nor do I really think it matters because I've never been talked to about it or whatever. Person is like the name for having a personality, which is like over on top of human beingness. Manness, I don't know. Manity. But
we're men.
Yeah, I'm a man. So, you know, like I don't know. I'm at my
Sorry.
Bye.
Never. I know. Whenever she interrupts me, I'm like, what do you have to share? Please. You want to talk instead of me?
I was just gonna say, like, we're going down this path. We're getting farther down it. It's happening. It happens. And it's a process as much as I want to make it into a finished product and be done. It's a process. So I thought we'd end this kind of rambly one, little weird one, with a
wasn't that
with
weird.
a
It was
vulnerable truth
It was
from each
great.
of us.
It was great.
Yeah.
It wasn't that weird. Don't self-deprecate, you know? We're doing great.
I didn't self-deprecate. I just said it was a weird one. It was a little rambly. I felt a little out of out I feel a little unfocused.
Okay.
but
I feel
a
great.
vulnerable
Just
truth
kidding. I'm tired.
that
What's going on?
I'm ending this
Let's do it.
Not live. I'm ending this video
Semi-live.
with a vulnerable truth that we don't want people to know, that we try to hide, that we try to pretend isn't true or maybe deny, that we would never have figured out about ourselves unless we had come to Day Life Army and been trained here and figured this shit out. You know? Yeah. Why don't you go? What's something?
Me?
Yeah.
What, something that I didn't know about myself? So I used to be like an edgy, like, you know, do poppers every day, like sex addict, drug addict, all over the map, edgelord, just disgusting, fucking bad times, bad clothes, bad everything. Just, you know, thrifted out the ass, just, you know, a super hipster drug addict. And now, you know, I'm just like into movies like The Notebook and reading, and I'm into artisanal jam. I say that.
But you've never had artisanal jam.
But I like the idea of artisanal jam, you know? I've had good jam before. I like the idea of being...
out for the jam.
Stop! I want to talk about the jam some more. I like the idea of artisanal jam because the place in your life that you have to be where you start paying attention to the quality of the jam that you intake is honestly goals for me. I'd love to be at a place where I could be that specific about the kind of jam I like, because so much of the other things that I rack my brain, all of the other things that I work tirelessly towards are handled, and that everything's just soft work, and that I can focus on like just making sure I have the right jam, like boysenberry.
So you think that you are wanting a life of soft work where you think about jam?
Yeah.
I think that's bullshit.
What?
I think that's bullshit.
Huh?
I don't think that's what you truly want.
What do I want then? Do you know?
I think I know more, or maybe you don't want to say it.
I don't know, but please reveal.
I think that you secretly, what you really want is you want to have like bros, especially like super white bros, like Scandinavian level white bros that are like with you or in your circle, and you're all like killing it in the business world, in the public, like you're getting accolades, you're out there like doing shit, like I think that you hide in the private domestic sphere. I think that those are the things that you're afraid of and don't think you're good enough to go and get and succeed at, and those things would get you the private life you wanted. But I think it's
Is jam private life, I guess?
Yeah, jam's definitely private life.
Well, I guess I don't know myself as well as I think I do.
There's just like a lot of face covering up that you don't want. I don't think you want to lose, and
I don't know what, like, yeah, hustling with the boys. I'll just say that. Hustling with the boys. I would love if I had men in my life and not like just being around a woman all the time. I love my woman, she's great, but I do, you know, get a lot of I like to have friends, best friends, people around, my boys, my crew. I want to have a solid crew and just, you know, be coming home on weekends and stuff, saying hey, you know, bailing again to go out with the boys, bowling night.
Bowling.
3-hour lunches. you know, with the crew.
I can get up to all the things I
And
want to
she
get
could
up
do
to.
all the. I don't know what she's up to, but she'll have the time finally to, you know, be herself.
The time finally to be myself.
Without having to manage the destruction of just the whatever is going on over here.
So for me, what's the vulnerable truth? The thing I care about that I don't want people to know that I care about. That one is actually like has to do with me being a lot more basic and perhaps what others in my head would assert would make me vain and fucking a tart. But like I just care about wanting to be attractive and caring that others view me in that way, and if also at the same time like afraid of being judged on that metric, but wanting to like perform really well in that metric. Like this I think I truly like the thing that I don't want people to know is that I truly believe like proof of value, good bloodline, or like physiognomy, like that what you look when you look good means you're like a good person, someone that you know you'd want to start a family with. It's like written on you or in you. And that's not to say that you couldn't like, I think you could like make yourself look better based on like the thoughts that you have and your actions. And so like I care about that kind of stuff, and I don't think that stuff is like disavowed here. I think it is acknowledged. Like we talk about when you get back more soul, you look better. Like everyone here, you can see the pictures. You can look at this side by side.
Before and after.
So I think that I don't want people to know that I care about that as much as I do. And I think most of my life I've distracted from that fact or tried to like circumvent it or compensate around it by like focusing on my talents, my beautiful, great, awesome art. That's like, I'm not a good visual artist.
But you're so much more than that as a person.
Even like in my head, I could just hear all these white women I know in my life being like, "No, your art's great.
You're so
Your
good.
art's great. Don't stop doing it."
Fiber.
But like, yeah, like using being smart or like knowing things to kind of like avoid that. What I really care about is just like being fucking hot, just like being hot and carefree, and just like someone looking and being like, that's someone that I want to have children with, because like my children, like the like base level primal instinct of like going to mate with someone who's hot because you want healthy babies that are awesome. And those are the things I'm afraid to talk about. That's what I think I'd be canceled for.
You should talk to me more about how mateable you want to be.
Yeah, so that's it.
Okay. Thanks, guys.
See you later.
Reversal.
Bye.